My mother thought I was obsessed with boys, so she sent me to a reform camp. They shattered me there. I learned what they wanted: to fear men. Mom was overjoyed when I returned. "I should have done this sooner," she said, beaming. Then she noticed the scars. She realized her mistake. She fell to her knees, pleading for forgiveness. That day marked my escape from torment. It was Labor Day weekend, and Mom came to pick me up. "This is because you were sneaking around with boys," she said during the drive, her voice relentless. "It's for your own good." I kept my head low, too afraid to argue. One misstep and I'd be sent back. The thought made me tremble. We arrived home. Dad was at the table, smiling wide, arms open for a hug. But seeing him, my chest tightened. My body ached. I felt like I was choking. At that camp, looking at men was forbidden. Not even photos were allowed. Break the rules and you'd pay. Screaming, lashings, electric shocks, isolation. Once they found a magazine with a male model in my belongings. They tied me upside down over a pool, gagged me with a cloth. They'd dunk me in the water, pulling me up just before I passed out. Again and again. I thought I'd die. Since then, men terrified me, even my own father. Mom pushed me forward. "Go on, greet your dad. You used to be so lively, now you're just weak." Her words stung with disappointment. I froze, then shuffled inside. I forced a smile, sat down, and started eating. I wanted to prove I loved her food. But I forgot about my stomach. At the camp, they'd forced dirty water into me. It left me with ulcers. They didn't want my parents to know, so they secretly took me to a hospital and removed half my stomach. After a few bites, pain surged, but I kept eating to avoid upsetting Mom. Eventually, I couldn't bear it. I shoved away from the table, ran to the trash, and vomited. Mom erupted. "I cooked a whole meal and you treat it like garbage. Maybe you need more time at that camp." Panic hit me. I didn't wipe my mouth before dropping to my knees. "Mom, I'm sorry. I'll do anything you want, just don't send me back." I clutched her jeans, begging. Mom stared, stunned. She frowned, silent. Dad spoke up. "Maybe she's just sick, honey. Call the camp, check if there's a bug going around." Mom nodded, reaching for her phone. I grabbed her hand, shaking my head. "No, please, I was fine there, don't call." Going back would destroy me. It would end me. Mom pulled her hand away, grabbed her phone, and left. I collapsed, whispering, "Don't call." Dad tried to lift me up. His touch felt like a jolt of electricity. I screamed, "Get away!" His hand froze. He tried to stay calm. "Don't be afraid. We love you. We sent you there to help you find the right path. Tell me what's wrong. I'll fix it." I fought the fear, looked at him. He seemed so earnest. I wavered. My mouth opened. I was about to speak. Then the door burst open. My face paled. Mom grabbed my hair, pulling me up. She slapped me hard. Dad stepped between us. "She's still a kid. Don't do that." I felt numb. After the camp, Mom's slap was nothing. "You think you're clever," she shouted. "They said you weren't eating, sneaking junk food instead, and they said you have a boyfriend." Boyfriend, my body shook. Mom's words drowned me. "If you don't end it, you're going back." Dad looked disappointed. "How could you, honey?" I turned to him, suffocation rising in my chest. I'd almost trusted him. My lips quivered. I tried to explain, but no words came. "Mom, please, there's no one. I'll do anything, just don't send me back." I knelt, tears streaming as I looked up. She stared, confused. "This is the second time you're on your knees. You were never like this. Where's your spine?" I lowered my head, giving a bitter smile. What was pride compared to survival? I used to be vibrant, full of energy. I laughed, made friends easily. But I ate lunch with a boy, and suddenly I was boy crazy. She sent me to that camp for my own good. She didn't know what they did to me. I tried to tell her at first, but she didn't believe me. She told the staff everything I said. One day, they stripped me bare and pressed hot metal to my skin. They stopped only when I swore never to tell my parents anything they didn't approve. Labor Day weekend arrived, and Mom got me out. I'd rather die than return, so I tried to be the perfect daughter. Why was I still being threatened with going back? Wasn't I obedient enough? I couldn't take it. I swore I'd never look at a boy again. Shouldn't Mom be pleased? Why did she hate that I'd become timid? I stood there, frozen, as her words pelted me. "One more chance, a few days to prove yourself. Act right and you can return to school." Hope sparked in my chest. Could I escape that place? "I swear I won't go near boys," I promised. I meant it. Now just seeing a boy made me ill. My heart raced, my breath stopped, my body shook. Mom seemed slightly relieved. "Study hard. It's up to you." I stayed in my room, glued to my books. I avoided my friends. Mom watched me on the security camera. She smiled, finally satisfied. "That place did you good," she said, patting my shoulder. "I should have sent you sooner." I said nothing, just smiled to please her. The next day, she took me to enroll in school. On my first day back, I stood at the school gates, my backpack heavy. My feet felt rooted. Too many boys were around. I felt faint, struggling to breathe. "What are you waiting for?" Mom snapped. "Want to go back to camp?" Those words made me flinch. "No," I screamed, forgetting where I was. Everyone stared. Mom frowned. "Enough. If you don't want to go back, get to class." One thought consumed me, never return to that place. Ignoring the stairs, I rushed into school. I found my classroom and desk. My desk mate was a boy. I slid as far away as possible. All day, I kept my head down, reading, avoiding boys, speaking to no one. After class, my desk mate stopped me. "Do you have a problem with me?" His voice was gentle, but it triggered panic. I shook my head, pushed past, and ran. I didn't hear him calling after me. I kept my head down, walking home. Too many men on the streets. I knew it wasn't healthy, but I couldn't help it. In a quiet, wooded area, someone grabbed me. I turned. A group of girls with dyed hair, smoking. "So you're the weirdo sitting next to my boyfriend in class? You rejected him." I denied it. "I didn't." They laughed, pushing me deeper into the woods. They surrounded me. Taunts, insults, punches, kicks. "Tell your parents and you're dead." They left, laughing. I stood up. Bruises didn't matter anymore. I didn't care. At home, I pulled out my key. It felt heavy, burning my hand. I opened the door. Mom smiled. "How was school?" She frowned, seeing my clothes. "Why are you filthy?" I forced a smile. "I fell on the way home." She gave me a look but didn't press. She told me to change. I exhaled, relieved. At dinner, I spoke up. "Mom, I want to switch desks. I'm next to a boy." She looked thrilled. "That's right. Focus on school, not boys. I'll call your teacher tomorrow." I mumbled a weak thank you. Mom sighed. "Since you got back, you're different with us." I didn't respond, just ate slowly, trying to seem normal. I was exhausted. Was I the problem? Why couldn't I make them happy? In bed, I lay awake. The lights outside dimmed one by one. I didn't want to sleep. Closing my eyes brought back the camp, so I stared at the ceiling until dawn. After switching desks, I went to school daily. Boys were everywhere, keeping me on edge. I spoke to no one. Classmates avoided me, thinking I was strange. I was fine with it. It was better than camp. One day, hurrying home, someone tapped my shoulder. It was the boy I'd eaten lunch with. He smiled. "Haven't seen you in a while. Heard you were sick. Are you okay?" I stared, terrified, backing away. He looked confused and grabbed my arm. "Are you all right?" Just then, Mom appeared, holding groceries. She saw him touch me and screamed, "What are you doing?" She ran over, pulling us apart, throwing her groceries at me. Eggs shattered, dripping down my clothes. I felt nothing. A crowd gathered, trying to calm her. "If something's wrong, talk at home. Don't humiliate her." Mom grew angrier. "She's shameless, a disgrace." Her yelling was mild compared to the camp. I thought I wouldn't care, but her words made me tremble. Pain pierced my chest. I forced out, "Mom, there's nothing going on." She laughed. "Don't lie." She grabbed me, turning my face to the crowd. "Look at my daughter. This is what I get for being a mother, a problem," people whispered. My ears buzzed. I couldn't hear them, but their looks, disgust, scorn, made me feel like an insect. I felt tiny. What had I done? Was eating lunch with a boy so wrong? Did everyone despise me? Mom yanked my jacket too hard, then she froze. The crowd went quiet. They saw the scars on my arms, cuts, burns, needle marks. "What happened to you?" Mom whispered, her voice breaking. In that moment, I felt a twisted satisfaction. I laughed, then cried. "I tried to tell you, but you didn't listen." Mom rushed me to the hospital. They examined me like I was an object. Hours later, the doctor shook his head. "How did a young girl end up like this?" Mom grabbed the test results, her hands trembling so much she dropped them. "Baby, I'm so sorry." I watched detached. The damage was done, regret couldn't fix it. Before leaving, I asked the doctor, "I can't sleep. Can you give me something?" He gave me a knowing look, then told Mom, "She needs a therapist." Mom, crying again, took me to one. After the evaluation, the therapist told her, "Your daughter is severely depressed. She's at risk. Watch her closely." At home, Mom broke down, hugging me, sobbing. Dad rushed in. "What's wrong?" Mom handed him the results. He read them, tears forming. "We're so sorry. We saw the ads, thought the camp was good." "We didn't know." I stared at the wall. They hadn't meant harm. They wanted me on the right path. But what had I done wrong? Why did I suffer? "I'll expose them," Dad said, slamming the table. I flinched. Mom held me. "It's okay. You'll never go back. They can't hurt you." I tried to calm down, watching my parents. I dreamed of them learning the truth, but it was too late. In the shower, I zoned out. Water filled my nose and mouth. I was back at the camp, drowning. I snapped awake, ran to the toilet, and vomited. Mom pounded on the door. "Are you okay?" I wanted to say I was fine, but I couldn't speak, just gasped. She unlocked the door, rushing in. Her eyes were red from crying. She helped me out. Dad was on the couch. He looked relieved, then brightened. "I found a blogger online, a big one. He's writing about the camp's victims. It's gaining traction. They'll pay." I saw Dad's hopeful smile. I couldn't disappoint him. So many kids suffered like me. That place wouldn't fall easily. I said I was tired and went to bed. In my room, I read the blogger's post. The comments were full of support. I buried my face in my hands and cried. It felt good knowing people cared. The next day, I told my parents, let's sue them. They looked concerned. The lawyers will ask personal questions, they warned. It might hurt. Can you handle it? Fear gripped me, but I nodded. I was already broken. I didn't want other kids to suffer like me. Mom squeezed my hand. If you're sure, we're with you. My parents paused everything to build the case. They contacted other parents whose kids attended the camp, sharing my story. At first, those parents denied it, but seeing their own kids, they understood. They joined our lawsuit. My lawyer needed details about the camp. I closed my eyes. I couldn't speak. My mind blocked it. I hated my weakness. The meeting ended. Later, my lawyer told my parents the other kids were the same. Without testimony, the case would collapse. My parents were drained, working tirelessly. They were kind, trying to make up for everything. But I felt uneasy. One day they were out. I was alone when the phone rang. You never learn, do you? That voice froze me. My worst memories flooded back. He continued, tell your parents to drop the case or you know what happens. I picked up the phone, trembling. He'd hung up. I threw it down, curled into a ball, and buried my face in my hands. I couldn't cry. Only my breathing and heartbeat filled the silence. Everything blurred. I woke in the hospital. My parents were there, eyes red. They were terrified. This is bigger than we thought, Mom said. Maybe we should stop. We'll pretend it never happened. I knew they'd gotten the call too, but I didn't want to quit. Is there another way? I asked. I can do this. Mom hugged me, stroking my hair. The therapist says you're too fragile. It's okay. We can go back to normal. It was tempting. The camp would vanish. I'd be the happy girl again. My parents would love me. I'd be happy. I almost agreed, but a sharp chest pain brought me back. I could never go back. I shook my head. I have to try. Mom started to speak, but Dad stopped her. He looked at me, gentle but firm. If that's what you want, we'll support you. After the camp's call, many parents dropped the lawsuit, but some of us pressed on. This time, I went to the lawyer and lifted my shirt. I let him photograph every scar. Unable to speak, I wrote it all down. At home, my parents hugged me. We're so proud. They shared my story with the media. Soon, it spread everywhere. The trial was set. My parents and therapist prepared me. But seeing those people again made me sick with fear. One counselor smirked at me. I screamed. My mind went blank. My parents comforted me, urging me forward. I gritted my teeth and sat down. Their lawyer asked, describe the illegal treatment you received at the camp. My nails dug into my palms. They yelled, whipped me, shocked me, held me underwater. I couldn't continue. My mind refused to go further. I wanted to flee. But I thought of the other kids. They needed me. I stayed. The lawyer pressed. Our staff used safe discipline methods. The tools were fake. Can you describe them? Mom snapped. She's traumatized. You're doing this on purpose. The camp's lawyer smiled. We're just asking fair questions. They were pulling me back to that place. I was slipping. The teacher's voice, the whip's crack, the electric buzz, it all flooded back. The room spun. I screamed and ran. Mom held me sobbing. The camp's lawyer laughed. She's unstable. Her testimony is unreliable. We think she injured herself. That was a lie. I shook my head, making noises. The judge ended the session. Because of my depression, they went unpunished. Outside, the sunlight was harsh, but I felt cold. Was there nothing I could do? I didn't sue again. I couldn't handle it. They'd reopened every wound. I was in agony. I stayed in bed most days. My parents never left me. But I was angry. Why didn't the guilty pay? One day, the sun shone and I was awake. Mom looked exhausted but smiled. Let's go outside. I agreed. I forgot about the men on the street. Panic hit. Mom took me back to the hospital. Seeing their worry made me feel guilty. Without me, they wouldn't suffer. Days passed. Nightmares haunted me nightly. One day, Mom was doing laundry, Dad was shopping, and I was alone. A nurse entered with a needle. She removed her mask. A camp counselor, she smiled. Long time no see. I reached for the call button, but she stopped me. I fought as she injected my neck. I felt the liquid spread. Since you were my student, I'll make it quick. She wasn't lying. Mom and Dad appeared, smiling, waving. They didn't look disgusted, like I was a burden. It felt like childhood. I smiled, running toward them. They retreated and I chased. A gate blocked me. Mom and Dad were on the other side. I climbed. Don't move, you'll fall. It sounded like Mom. I hesitated. Something pushed me forward. Wind stung my face, but I smiled. Mom and Dad were ahead. As I fell to my death, my soul hovered. I saw my parents collapse, sobbing over my body. Doctors loaded me onto a stretcher. After tests, they declared me dead. Mom fainted. The The woman who killed me was caught. My death brought the camp back into the spotlight. Other victims spoke out. The camp was finally shut down. I smiled. My death saved lives. It was worth it. My parents became orphanage volunteers, giving love to kids. I was happy watching them play with the children. I floated closer. I forgive you, I whispered. Don't do this again. Everyone's lives slowly normalized. It was time for me to move on. As spirits guided me away, I looked back. The sky was clear, not a cloud in sight. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, follow, and subscribe so you never miss any of our upcoming stories.